Hey there. I have been trying to uh, film a description of my dream and what I'm trying to build, and it never comes out right when I'm recording it, and I have been forgetting every time I sit down with a human and explaining it. I keep forgetting to record it. And so anyway, I'm just gonna talk to you and let you know kind of what is going on, and I think it'll turn out a lot better. It's just, there's no production behind it or anything. It's just, this is what I'm building. And so it started out as a sketch on as a sketch. And then it has since kind of turned into a little bit more definition of a sketch with some, at least the brand logos of the organizations. So at least it's gone from the sketch to a sketch with some brands showing what the different organizations are, and now I've started to build the business plan that breaks down each of the organizations and talks a little bit more about how they interrelate, how they stand on their own, and how they interrelate, and how they benefit each other. But I thought that it would be it's really smart when I'm sitting down with somebody to kind of just go over the overview, and that's what I want this to be, is to, as quickly as I can, to just go over how the pieces interrelate. And so if you're looking at any of the pictures that I put up, it's usually something about this picture here, and so you can see kind of how they interrelate. The organizations on this side under Quietly Working are the for-profit companies, and more specifically, they're public benefit companies. So that means that they're a profit generating organization, but the purpose of how those profits are used, instead of those profits that are generated being put back into the company, into the CEO's pockets, and into the corporate board's pockets, or to any other investor's pockets, they're put into some type of public benefit. And in this case, our public benefit that we're focusing on is this side of the organization, which are the Quietly Working Foundations. So starting out, that's America's Children of Fallen Heroes, that's the Spirited Project, that's our Dream Development Project, that's working with the matriculating foster kids, that's working with our Dare to Dream project. It's working with any youth 30 and younger and helping them achieve their dreams and teaching them how to dream and how to build their own dream development plan. So that's the major overview, is that these for-profit organizations, their entire purpose is to generate profits that make them both viable standalone businesses, as well as supporting the cost of running these nonprofit organizations. The end goal being that as a nonprofit organization, that we can approach the public saying that with this model that we've employed, 100% of our admin and staffing and all of the nuts and bolts of surviving is provided by these for-profit organizations. And so that 100% of your donations and your public support are going to what you really want it to go to, which is programs and services, and actually doing what your heart is behind doing. If you have a heart for these kids that have lost a parent in the military or law enforcement or the fire department, any first responders, you want to see America's Children of Fallen Heroes doing work for those families and those kids and helping them to achieve their dreams in life. You have less interest in, covering the printing costs and paying for fuel and stuff like that. So in our picture here, the for-profit, or we'll call them for-profit, but they're public benefit companies, are providing for all of those admin and base expenses, so that the donations that we would be soliciting will then go straight to programs and services. I think it'll have a great long-term effect on the growth of our organizations, and with the beauty of full transparency, then it helps the supporters really see what their money is doing. And then it also gives opportunity for, if you're a business owner and you're sponsoring one of our events, or if you have a heart for any of these causes, it gives an opportunity for you to engage in services that you're already engaged in. Let's say you need, you're building a website, or you need SEO help, or you're printing something, or any of these for-profit services that we provide. It gives an opportunity for you to do business with companies that that the profits are supporting what you already have a heart for anyway. So that's kind of the overview of this. The inner side is kind of where what is written down here is the Council of Greatness. That's kind of just a name that on my notes here are slapped onto this category of people that we are interviewing who have achieved some type of life greatness, whether that be that that they have achieved their own personal dreams in their life, or their family is great, or they've achieved business greatness, or sports greatness, that they conquer fear, whatever that greatness might be. We're interviewing them to determine, what are some of the obstacles that you've faced, what barriers have you charged through, what have you learned along that way, who are the people who have helped you along that way, to glean some wisdom and knowledge that can go into this wisdom vault. So the Council of Greatness are these people that we're interviewing, and they are both, that wisdom is accessed both by our Dream Development Project and all of the youth that are going through that project, the other youth service organizations that we have that we're serving in our nonprofit efforts that can have access to that, as well as other businesses that we're serving that are being interviewed and being we're interviewing them, and so they're becoming part of that Council of Greatness. So that becomes kind of part of this inner connective piece between, especially as you get older, look at the gray here, you have this desire to, there's a term that has been around for a while of transitioning from success to significance. And so having achieved success in your life, you realize pretty quickly that has just, it doesn't weigh very much in the big course of time. And so you want to transition that to some type of meaningful legacy level significance. And that's where this comes in, to where you give people an opportunity to have some long-term significance by transferring their knowledge to a younger generation that has a desire to go like an arrow so much farther than you could have ever gone in life, because they're using your wisdom and experience and propulsion to go forward. So that's kind of an overview of this big, this my dream before I die is basically to create this infrastructure. A lot of these businesses and these organizations structurally exist already, so a lot of the ideas exist, and we've tested and toyed with different things, but this is how it all plays together. And so the remaining however many years I have, for those of you who know my story, I died March 25th, 2013. I died. It was an absolute miracle that I'm still alive. I should not be here. And it really shifted my perspective to why am I here? What is the purpose for the time that I have left? It was at a perfect time when my kids were already, they're already grown up, and they're all forming their own lives now. And so my focus can be completely on building the dreams and helping to build the infrastructure for this for the youth that we're serving, and handing something over that can live well beyond me. So that's my dream, is to build this infrastructure, this engine. I see it as a working engine that should be able to, once it's built and once it's working correctly, work perfectly fine without my involvement. And with some of the young people that I've had the honor to meet and work with, it'll work so much better without me involved anyway. And so that's what this is. I look forward to your insight, your questions, your involvement. Anybody who wants to get involved at any level of this, there's no ego involved in this. So I'm very, very much willing and honored to have other companies and other organizations involved in building this. It's for the betterment of everybody. If we can build something that is new and different, it's built off of what we know works from wisdom from the past, but also takes into account that we're living in a time and an age where technology and new minds allow us to do things in such a different way that we have to really think outside our normal boundaries and our normal boxes for how we're going to solve the problems that our youth are facing today. So that's what this is. I hope to see your involvement and development in what we're building. And that's it. If you have any questions, rip them off to me, and myself or our team will get back to you, and we'd love to have you as part of what we're building. Thank you very much. Work hard, enjoy life, and help others.